sleep, and I woke up to him. I just opened my eyes. I woke up, and he was sexually assaulting me. And I froze and was in complete shock and had no idea what to do or how to react. And I had no idea how to get out of the situation. I couldn't run outside. I had my phone. I mean, I just, what am I, call my mom and be like, hey, this just happened. Can you come pick me up? I'll just sit here and wait. I had no car. I didn't drive. I was 15 at this time.
What's going on with y'all, man? It's your boy Q, man. Back at y'all with another video, bruh. And I know y'all ain't seen me in a minute. I know y'all miss seeing this lovely face right here. But so today I hopped on Instagram, right? Now I don't usually get on Instagram like that. Unless I'm looking for like conspiracy theories and shit like that. You know how I do. But so as I was scrolling on Instagram, I stumbled upon something very interesting. So apparently Drake Bell, right? Y'all all know him as being, on that show Drake and Josh back in the day, right? That show was lit, by the way, too. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I used to watch that shit all the time. I never be so simple. I find y'all know what I'm saying. But so boom, right? So I guess he had an interview the other day. I don't know when he had this interview. I ain't gonna hold you, but I guess Drake Bell had an interview with ETV or E News or some shit. I don't know who he had the interview with. I ain't gonna be on. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. But he had an interview and he decided to expose some shit out of nowhere, just weird shit. And y'all know Drake Bell. He's been into some weird shit lately too. So I found it very interesting that Drake Bell finally comes out and says that when he was 15 years old or whatever, Nickelodeon dialogue coach Brian Peck sexually assaulted him when he was 15, when he was still Nickelodeon and shit. So I'm just here to figure out what the hell going on. So we about to jump into this reaction. So y'all like, comment, share, subscribe, man. Y'all know the vibes, man. Let's get to it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Drake Bell speaks out about the sexual abuse he suffered at the age of 15. The former Nickelodeon star appears in the new documentary Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, which investigates the experiences of former child stars who worked on Nickelodeon shows produced by Dan Schneider.
Hold up. This dude right here, Dan Schneider, this is the Nickelodeon dude. A lot of complaints came out about Dan Schneider and shit, right? But Nickelodeon always found a way to sweep that shit under the rug just to keep him around because he's such a good producer or creator or whatever the fuck he is. But me, I would have fired his ass. But as far as I know, when it comes to this dude, Dan Schneider, he created iCarly, he created Victorious, he created Drake and Josh. He created, I think, Zoe 101 as well. I think The Amanda Show. He created a lot of TV shows on Nickelodeon, and he was making them a lot of money. He was like their cash cow in a sense because, come on, bro, who doesn't know fucking iCarly? You know what I mean? Victorious. These were like the shows that everybody was watching. All the kids was watching this. Everybody was watching this shit. So they couldn't let him walk out the door. But there was a lot of complaints about Dan Schneider and the scripts he was writing for the kids and how it made them uncomfortable and how he had a foot fetish and that's the reason why every time we was watching iCarly, they would show their feet a lot of times. So this dude right here, man, he is a very weird and strange dude, man, and he shouldn't be working with kids. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
To Today.com, Drake tells his story for the first time publicly, reportedly revealing he was the unnamed minor in the 2004 sexual assault conviction of acting.
Okay, so this is the guy that that Drake Bell is exposing for the sexual assault, Brian Peck. This dude right here. Now, Brian Peck, right? I'm guessing he had this case open for a minute now. I think what she say 2014 or some shit like that. Let's go back and listen.
2004 sexual assault.
Okay, 2004. 2004. My bad. I said 2014. I'm dumb. 2004. So this is around the time that Drake and Josh is popping, and this dude decides to want to sexually assault Drake Bell while he's laying on the couch. So this case has been open for a long time. It's just that Drake Bell never spoke out about this shit. And you know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain incidences, y'all, I'm gonna be real with y'all. When it comes to like you hearing a child say they're gonna kill themselves and stuff like that, those are incidences. If you just looking at from a bird's eye view, and if you overhear something like that, that's definitely something that you tell somebody right away just to be safe and shit like that. You know what I mean? Especially in this day and age, 2024, you never know what nobody's thinking. Okay, but when you're like a victim of sexual assault or rape or anything of that magnitude or anything of that nature, I kind of give people like that a leeway to when it comes to the timing in which they decide to come out and speak about this shit, because it is a very touchy subject and it can be very hard to come out and speak about, because you know that's a very traumatic experience. And shout out to the people that do actually decide to come out and speak out about that shit. Eventually, you know, it might take them like 10, 15 years, but they eventually do it, man, because you guys don't know it yet, but y'all are helping out. Y'all are helping a lot of other victims come out too, because you know what I mean? It's hard for people to come out and say stuff like that, bro. It's a very traumatic experience. It's something really hard for people to talk about. So shout out to y'all.
Coach Brian Peck. The former child star reportedly says in the film that the coach abused him over the course of months at his home, allegedly turning Drake against his father, who had become suspicious of Peck.
Hold up. What did she say? What did she say?
Course of months at his home, allegedly turning Drake against his father,
Damn.
who had become suspicious of Peck.
So he was doing this. He did this shit multiple times. No wonder Drake Bell's fucked up, man.
His mother and stepfather. According to Today, Drake says his separation from his family meant he often spent the night at Peck's home. The Drake and Josh alum reportedly says that one morning, quote, "I woke up and he was sexually assaulting me.
Whoa.
And I froze and was in complete shock and had no idea what to do or how to react." He says he later revealed the abuse to his mother, who called police. According to court records viewed by E! News, the acting coach, now 63, was convicted of 2 charges that included lewd act upon a child 14 or 15 by a person 10 years or older, and oral copulation of a person under 16. He served over a year in prison and was made to register as a sex offender. E! News has reached out to Brian Peck, Dan Schneider, and Nickelodeon for comment, but has not yet heard back. In a statement to NBC News, a Nickelodeon spokesperson says, quote, "Now that Drake Bell has disclosed his identity as the plaintiff in the 2004 case, we are dismayed and saddened to learn of the trauma he has endured, and we commend and support the strength required to come forward." As far as the workplace allegations against Dan Schneider addressed in the documentary, a spokesperson for the 58-year-old previously told E! News he understood what they were going through and he was their biggest champion. "The fact is, many of the kids on these shows are put in the untenable position of becoming the breadwinner for their family and the pressure that comes along with that." It continued, in part, "That is why there are many levels of standards, executives, lawyers, teachers, and parents everywhere all the time, on every set, every day. However, it is still a hard place to be a kid, and nobody knew that better than Dan."
Wow. That was a lot. That was tough, man. Dan Schneider, man. Let's get into talking about Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider ended his longtime partnership in March 2018, splitting with Nickelodeon. I think they paid this dude off, to be honest with you. They weren't trying to lose. Like I told you, they wasn't trying to lose Dan Snyder because of the incredible shows that he made. So I'm thinking that they paid this dude off so that way he can just get off. Drake Bell, however, in 2021 pled guilty to a felony charge of attempted child endangerment and misdemeanor charge. Now, this charge right here in 2021, I definitely do believe his traumatic experiences at Disney with Brian Peck was pecking him. Pecking, you know what I mean? Pecking him, but I think this definitely played a role in my boy being the way he is, you know. So I like to be sensitive to people when it comes to shit like that, you know. Like former Disney stars and Nickelodeon stars and shit, man. Let's be for real, y'all. They're all fucked up. It's Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? There's pedophiles and creeps and shit lurking all over. You know what I'm saying? And they be preying on young kids, man. That's what I be saying. Like, don't get me wrong, y'all. When we was growing up as kids and shit, I'm pretty sure there was once upon a time where everybody wanted to, you know what I mean, be a Disney star, or be on Disney, be on Nickelodeon and shit. Of course. You know what I mean? We think we don't know no better. We thinking that these kids is living these lavish lifestyles and shit, and they making money for their families and shit like that. But it's not really what it's cut out to be. You know, former Nickelodeon stars like Jeanette McCurdy said that her mom was using her and shit, and now she don't like her mom no more. Bella Thorne, you see the way she acting. You see Zendaya go from Shake It Up to acting in Euphoria, and I'm not knocking Zendaya for nothing, but you see what they do. They prep these people up to the kids and shit and all that. And then as time goes on, as things go on, they flip it. It's like a good girl gone bad image. You know what I mean? Like Miley Cyrus was on Hannah Montana, you know what I mean? Chilling, and, you know, nobody thought anything of it. Time goes on, she's demonic as fuck. They do it every time. Demi Lovato, from Camp Rock to On Rock. You know what I mean? From Camp Rock to On Rock. You know what I'm saying? It's not what it seems, y'all. All that glitters is not gold, man. All that glitters is not gold, bro. And another thing too, right? Before I let y'all go, right? You guys have to be mindful. It's 2024. Parents, older brothers, older sisters, y'all have to be mindful of what your siblings and your kids are watching and consuming on a day-to-day basis nowadays, man, because they put subliminals in all the shows, like SpongeBob, right? If you go back and you watch SpongeBob right now today, you will see the subliminal messaging, but you're not going to be able to see shit like that when you're young. You know what I mean? That's how they get you. That's how the devil works, man. All you just think that's just an innocent cartoon on the TV, but little do you know there's sexual innuendos in the shows. Nickelodeon do that shit, and Disney do that shit. So you got to protect your kids, man. You got to be more mindful of what your kids is watching, of what your kids is being exposed to, man. Because a lot of times your kids start acting out of sorts. Your kids start acting funny, and you trying to figure out why. And it's because of what they're watching on television. You know what I mean? So y'all got to be careful with stuff like that, man, too. But Drake Bell, man, I appreciate you, man, for coming out and speaking on this, man. Sheds a little more light into the evil that's behind Disney, that's behind Nickelodeon, and why, if you're a parent out there, you need to keep your kids away from this type of shit, man. Let them have the SpongeBobs and the Danny Phantoms and the Fairy Odd Parents on live. But leave your kids out of fucking Hollywood. Leave your kids out of Hollywood, bro. It's not a place for children. These people prey on children. Be careful out here, y'all. Be careful, man. But shout out to Drake Bell, though. Like I said, hopefully this encourages other people to start speaking out about this, because this is a very serious situation. You see how Orlando Bloom is acting. This is another guy I could do this shit all day, on and on and on. keep your kids out of Hollywood, man, and be more mindful of what your kids is watching, bro. Like, seriously, man. You'll thank me later. But if y'all enjoyed the video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, man. Y'all know the vibes, man. I'm going to catch you on the next video, man.